Hey, what's going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions review of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 10, which is titled Omega. So, this is what I'm going to do from now on, probably starting with this episode, is I'm going to do a first impressions review as soon as possible, probably the night of the episode, or maybe some days the day after, maybe in the morning, or maybe sort of later the afternoon. I'm going to upload my first impressions review, which is just me talking about how I felt about the episode, maybe some points off the top of my head after watching it just once, giving you initial reactions, stuff like that. And then later in the week, probably like Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, around that time, I'm going to come out with a kind of full review where I'm going to actually spend a lot of time on the video, go in depth on breaking down the episode after I rewatch it a few times, giving you guys a rating, like a blank out of 10 rating, because right now, it's hard to tell because I've only watched it once, so I don't like giving ratings that soon after seeing something. I like to rewatch it to really get a full perspective on the episode, because it happens a lot where my first viewing, I absolutely love an episode, and the second viewing, I'm like, that wasn't that good, or, the opposite, where I really didn't like it the first viewing, and then after that, I really enjoyed it. So, this episode, let me just get right into it, I loved. Absolutely loved. I know a lot of people are probably going to have problems with it. I mean, maybe not, because, Angela Kang's showrunner now, so everyone already praises everything that happens on the show, but you get the idea. I know people are probably going to complain over the fact that it's kind of more of a bottle episode, meaning only focuses on the hilltop, but I think it was really necessary. Everything that happened in this episode was necessary. The stuff that was maybe a little bit unnecessary was the fact that the group left the walls, the Magnus group left the walls, just to argue and then come back to Hilltop. That kind of might seem like it didn't really go anywhere, but you have to look at it from a character development perspective. Not everything is going to push the story forward. Not everything that happens will have to push the story forward. Some things have to happen just for the sake of pushing characters forward, developing the characters, making them, so we understand them more, and I think the little interactions between Magnus Group did a good job at that. And then we had everything with Lydia, which was, in my opinion, the highlights of the episode. Literally the entirety of the flashback sequences I thought was a really cool idea. The fact that, she, in the beginning, she was basing off her stories off of what her mom said, but as time went on, she started realizing and kind of remembering things, which people, at first I was like, that's kind of weird how people just come up with ideas out of nowhere like that. They just remember things, but it actually makes sense. That happens a lot, especially when you heard the baby crying. That brought back some memories, apparently. I guess there was a baby at the place that they were at. And then she realized that her mom really wasn't the sick one, and her dad really wasn't the sick one. Her mom was actually the sick one, who was crazy and insane, and was the one who caused all the problems, and wasn't the one singing, the nice Lydia song to her. It was actually her father, and I think that was a really cool kind of twist. I mean, obviously I saw it coming because I know who Alpha is, but at the same time I was like, maybe they're going to make Alpha kind of seem like a really nice person, and then eventually as time goes on, she just becomes this evil person. Because in the comics, we really didn't get an Alpha backstory, like, much at all. Negan, I think, still deserves a backstory. I don't know how they're going to do his backstory, if they ever decide to do it. I honestly think they might do a miniseries called Here's Negan, just like they did in the comics, but, I don't know. This was a good Alpha's backstory. That's kind of what the whole episode was mainly about. Lydia and Henry's interactions together were awesome too. I'm a big fan of the Carl and Lydia story arc in the comics, and a lot of people keep saying it should be Carl. Well, Henry's doing a good job. Okay, just deal with it. Accept the fact that Carl isn't here. Gimple made a decision. Well, I guess all the writers made a decision, not just Gimple, that Carl should be killed off because of a variety of reasons, and I've went over those variety of reasons many times. And at first I didn't agree with it, but as time went on, I realized Henry and Judith are good replacements. And Matthew Lintz as Henry is a fantastic actor, absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely loved him in this episode. Now, a lot of people already are hating on Henry, saying he's a horrible character and all this stuff, but just because a dude makes bad decisions doesn't make him a horrible character. You might hate him because he's kind of an idiot. I mean, he is stupid. I mean, come on. But that doesn't affect how well his character is, You know what I mean? I think he's interesting. I think he's got some story to tell, and I really liked his interactions with Lydia, and it was cute. It was interesting to watch that. I liked it, and you guys, should give it a chance. I know you guys probably wanted to see Carl instead, but it works. It works, honestly. No offense, I could not see Chandler Riggs in those scenes, and I would not be able to take it seriously. I don't know why, I just wouldn't be able to. We get that, of course. We get I really was kind of interested there when Lydia was about to grab the hammer. I was like, ooh, is she about to smack Henry beside the head? Like, that kind of changed my mind a little bit about the whole thing. But then I realized she asked Henry about the doctor, because he said they have a doctor, and she's like, oh, you have a good doctor, stuff like that. So she was asking that to make sure that she can injure him without killing him because she likes him. She can injure him just enough for her to get away, and then she doesn't have to worry about him dying if they have a good doctor. So that's kind of where her thought process was there. But I guess hearing the baby fucked her up made her remember how bad her mom was, and that caused her to want to be back in the cell because she doesn't want to go back to her mom anymore because she realized her mom's a fucked up person, which is a really interesting story. And Alpha, let's talk about her entrance, man. That was fantastically done. The music, the setup to it, so great. Just as good as Negan's setup, which I thought Negan's setup was amazing. Alpha is a lot dirtier, a lot grosser looking than I expected. I mean, in the comics, she looks kind of clean, but I guess that was unrealistic. Lydia looked clean in the comics too, but yet again, I think that was pretty unrealistic. So I think the TV show making them look dirty as hell is probably for the best. And it's interesting. Now, Alpha's accent, I know, is getting a lot of hate, but I have no problem with it. I really don't. Her accent is just fine, in my opinion. You know, she's Southern, so that's the kind of accent she's gonna have. And especially because Samantha Morton, she's English, she's from the UK. Her accent is obviously, the English accent. So an English accented person trying to give a Southern accent, it usually is a little wonky here and there. But I think she did a good job. Same thing with Lauren Cohan. Like, in the beginning, her Southern accent was a little kind of weird, but you get used to it, and then you realize, oh, it's actually not that bad at all. So I think we're going to get used to her voice, and then it's going to be just a normal accent after that. So I have no problem with it, and I hope you guys don't either, because I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying these characters. I'm enjoying a lot of stuff going on with The Walking Dead, even without Rick. And I hope you guys are too. I just really hope it stays like this and that they don't make bad decisions in the future, even though I really don't think they will. And if they do, you got to understand some of the decisions. You got to accept them. Even if you don't like them, you have to accept them and you have to move on. If you don't like that, then don't watch the show. Simple as that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.